What's going on, everybody? TheKennyDubz here with another Mega Man X Dive video. Now, before we get into this, I just want to say I'm on my Taiwan account again, at least for the start of this video, because there's some things here that I want to talk about. This video is actually going to be a little bit different. Today, I thought I would go over some things I would like to see changed in Mega Man X Dive, at least in the global version. And I tried to limit these changes to things that are more realistic rather than things I would just like to see straight out. So I'm not going to say like I would like to see a lot more, EMs given out. I want to see like 5k EMs at least a month, because that's just not realistic. Something else I wanted to go over before actually getting into the meat and potatoes of this video is in one of the previous videos I uploaded, talking about the state of the game and how the community was upset over the lack of free pulls on the Halloween banner that Taiwan got. A few people there actually ended up accusing me of being paid by the devs or like being sponsored, and were saying that's why I had said don't go harassing the devs or Nebula Joy. And one, that is not the case. I don't know how me saying hey don't harass people translates to he's getting paid by them. That's why he's saying that. But also, if I was getting paid by them, think about what I was talking about in the video, how I was saying that things need to get better and not worse for the player base. Because if I actually was getting paid by them, doesn't that mean that my words would hold a lot more value because I'm getting paid by them to essentially promote their game and make content? Because if I was getting paid by them and I'm speaking about how I'm thinking about dropping the game and not recommending the game to other people, that's just a really, really bad look. And showing my thoughts on how things need to get better. Otherwise, I will be leaving despite them paying me. So I'm not sure how those people came to those conclusions, but I ended up just removing those comments from that video because they didn't make any sense. So let's get into one of the first things I want to talk about in this video. Now, I do have to put a little disclaimer. I don't exactly have a script for this video. I thought I would like to put one together, but I also thought maybe it'd be better if I just talk about things and let my thoughts flow freely instead of having everything I wanted to say all written out. So the first thing here, as you can see, we are on the capsule banner. And one of the things that I would like to see come to global is this right here. You see it says activate 10+1 times, and that is very, very nice. Other gacha games have this feature where if you do a multi-pull, it's a 10+1, so that you're more incentivized to actually do multi-pulls over or just doing single pulls. Now, this game had already had a guarantee, so you're guaranteed 1 A rank, but having the extra pull there is very, very nice, and I would like to see that come to global. I'm not sure why this wasn't included off rip from either version of the game personally, but this is something I think that would be very, very good, as you get another chance to roll something off of a pull. And you're also getting another pull for free, essentially, by clicking multi. So I think that this would be a very, very nice addition to the global version of the game. The next thing I want to talk about is a bit more clarification for skills and passives, for weapons and for characters. We have some passives that say there is a chance for an effect to happen, such as Electric Shock Warhead. It says there's a chance to render the target immobile, and we don't know what that base chance is. And then others I have like this, like intelligent analysis on Alia. There's a chance for a weapon or skill to weaken the target's defense. Or if we look at Zero right here, his rapid response, when being hit, there's a chance to enter an accelerated state, increases movement speed by 40%. Now, we have numbers on what the effects actually do. Increase speed by 40% on this one, and over here has a chance to increase damage taken by 27%. Now, the thing about this is, one, it'd be great to see what the odds of this happening are, or at least maybe like Final Fantasy Record Keeper, based on the wording, you'll be able to tell, okay, this says a moderate chance, so that's that'll be like 25% or something, or like a large chance will be like 50% or something to that effect. However, if we look at the cards for both Alia and Zero, I have to apologize to the global viewers right now because I don't have these cards on my account, on this account, so I have to look at them in the card shop, and we don't have the card shop in global. So as you can see right here on the Zero card, it says increase the chance of rapid response triggering by 30%. And if we look at the Alia card, well, we do have the card shop in global, but it's not updated. It also increases the chance of intelligence analysis to trigger by 30%. Now, if we fully upgrade these cards, they'll bump up to 50% trigger rate, increase the chance of it happening by 50%. But what does that mean? right? It'll happen 50% more often, but we don't know how often the base chance is or how often it's going to activate. So 50% more often can be a really relevant number, or can not be a relevant number, because if it activates 10% of the time, 50% more often, that'll be 15% of the time total it'll activate, which is still more than the base chance, but we don't know what the base chance of it activating is. So it'd just be nice to have that information. There are also some skills that say, or also some passives that say, when you use the skill, you'll get a blank effect, right? So for this example, I'm using Eco because she's the first one that I thought of. When you use the skill, you'll gain an invulnerability status. After it's triggered, this can only trigger, whatever. But what does this mean? Does this mean any skill? Does this mean a certain skill in particular? Is this just because of like it's translated, so like some words or phrases are lost in the middle? Because it just says when you use the skill. It's called Do Not Disturb. But what skill do I have to use? Is it data reconstruction? Is it analyzer wall? Is it either one? Is it one in particular? I would just like it to be a bit more clearer for clarification's sake, so that I can look at it and know exactly what it means. Another thing that I would like to see is more transparency and communication. I'm pretty sure that all of us would like to see this, to be quite honest, but it'd be great if we were informed about changes we've inquired about before. Using as an example, the card shop. We were told that it was supposed to be sometime in October, and now it's nearly mid-November. And it would just be nice to have something, you know what I mean? Even if it's not ready, just them to let us know. It's like, hey, some things went wrong. We're still working on it in the background. It'll roll out. ETA is this time frame, right? It doesn't have to be an exact month, but like having a time frame would be nice, just so that we're not constantly asking over and over without any knowledge of what's going on, as we were told one thing and then it didn't end up happening. And that also goes with other things as well. But that's just an example that I know a lot of people in the community will know about. Another thing in particular is I brought this up in the Discord one point, and I think someone else had agreed with me, and some other people probably might have brought it up as well. But another game that I play, War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I use this example a lot as, well, I compare the two games a lot. But that game has a little infographic page. I'll try to put it on screen now if I can pull it up, but it has like a little blurb about the character, what game they're from, their name, and in that game it also shows who voices the character, which is pretty cool. And I think that'd be a really cool addition to this game, as while I am a big Mega Man fan, some characters I'm not too familiar with, as I didn't play some of the games growing up, because the Zero games are really hard. So I had to look into Pandora because I didn't know what game Pandora was from. And just having a little tidbit about Pandora, maybe in the character screen somewhere, would just be really nice to have. You can see various information about them. So the next thing I'd like to see handled, I don't know how this one would be implemented, but the way power creep is handled in this game. Now, I know power creep is a fairly hard thing to balance, and when you're balancing DPS characters, power creep, the easiest way to do that is to just make them do more damage, as we've seen with characters like Proto Man EXE, right? And you just make him do an obscene amount of damage and kind of brain off to an extent. However, there are other things like characters with status effects, whereas we're seeing more and more of those implemented. Their status effects can just ignore preventative shield and just go through barriers and such. And that kind of defeats the purpose of preventative shield and debuff barrier, which eventually down the line, I think that would end up happening. But if they ignore preventative shield and debuff barrier, there's not much counterplay to them. I don't know what could be done about these effects, because it seems like there's not much we can do unless a new kind of shield is introduced to prevent them from inflicting their slow, their stun, their dot, or what have you. But then that just, I fear we'll get in a cycle of getting a new shield and then getting a character that ignores that shield, and then it'll just rinse and repeat for a while. So for that one in particular, I don't know how it could be handled. For power creep, outside of that, there are some other things that can be done, like maybe making a bit bulkier characters to more easily deal with characters like Proto Man. But he just does an obscene amount of damage. He can just one tap, like Proto Man, Super Base, and etc. I'm not sure entirely what we could do with those either. Maybe characters that get mitigation inherently from having certain kinds of weapons equipped, or characters that maybe inherently have a fatter defense buff. It's characters like Black Zero, Ultimate Armor X. Do I have any of those? Okay, I have Black Zero here. Black Zero inherently has an armor protection skill, which reduces damage taken by 10%. So maybe characters with this kind of thing, with like a bigger defense bonus so they don't get one tapped by characters like Proto Man. Or I think Chi Kai has a similar thing to that, where yes, he does, and I think Copyx does as well, where when equipping a Buster, it amplifies your damage and also reduces the damage you take. So more of these effects could be implemented as well. Or like I had mentioned earlier, maybe Player Sentinel or something to that effect can be introduced. As we see here, Shikai, I don't think I'm saying the name right. Like I'm saying it as if Bleach, like a Bleach character. Targets a player, increase damage deal by 10%. Oh, never mind. This isn't what I was thinking it was. But he has inherent player killer. So maybe we get a character with maybe inherent player sentinel, or maybe some cards that decrease the damage you take from specific attack types. Could be interesting rather than just having it inherent on a unit. Oh, well, we do have a unit with player sentinel in here in Colonel. Yeah, summon sentinel too, so it's very likely that we can have a unit with player sentinel just inherently. This is a fat one though. This is a minus 30%. All right, just so I don't keep this video going on for too long, I think those are just a few things I'd like to see change. Maybe, was that 4, 5, maybe even 6 things I could see changed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little discussion video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me grow, helps the channel out, and shows me that you're enjoying the content. And actually, let me know down below what you guys think could be changed. Again, in a more realistic sense, right? Is how I wanted to keep this. So what do you guys think could be more realistically changed for the game in a positive way? Just because, like I said, it's really easy to say, you know, more EMs for free-to-play players and things like that, you know. Oh, and that reminds me, one last thing I kind of wanted to talk about before I ended this video is I'd considered doing maybe some giveaways for the community. Nothing too crazy, maybe just a few monthly packs or the daily packs, I believe they're called, but they last for a month. Maybe just a few of those every once in a while. I'm not sure how I'm gonna go about doing these daily packs giveaways. I was thinking maybe something along the lines of maybe doing it through Gleam, or maybe even through stream. But then if I do it through stream, the people that don't watch me during stream won't have a chance at getting it. So I'll figure something out. So I'll keep you posted for that. Maybe I'll just have just pick a subscriber kind of randomly, or something to that effect. I think that wraps up this video. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. Later.